So now we're going to move to a young man with cerebral palsy in Australia, Daniel Clarke. He is a disability advocate for sure, but in fact, his greatest field of activity is conservation. And he has been campaigning in particular to preserve the habitats of orangutans. So he's somebody who obviously puts his passion into other causes than just disability, which is justified in itself. And Daniel's going to speak about Action Area 3, which is creating opportunities for young people with developmental disabilities and their families to participate in advocacy, leadership, policy, programming, and monitoring. To say something about number 8, as I said. So Daniel, over to you.
Thank you so much, John, for that introduction. It's so great to be here tonight. Hey, I'm Dan. I have cerebral palsy all the way from Brisbane, Australia. So I want to start tonight by a common phrase that I'm sure we've all heard of. Don't judge a book by its cover. But what does this phrase really mean? For people with a disability, we live this phrase day in and day out. And for me, it all comes down to attitudes. Both my attitude, how I see myself, and how I want others to see me, and the attitudes of society, how we so easily write people off. When I was born, a doctor told my parents that I would never walk, never talk, and they would be better to give me up to an institution and they should move on with their lives. I am forever grateful that my parents chose not to follow this advice. In my 27 young years, I have raised over $1 million for orangutan conservation. I have written and self-published 2 books, and I travel all over Australia speaking at schools and conferences about disability and the environment. And I was awarded the 2021 Queensland Young Australian of the Year. I would like to address my 2 action areas by giving everyone here a bit of an understanding into my early life growing up. In my very early years, it was instilled in me from my parents that everything you want to achieve is possible, but it is only you that has the inner belief to want to do it. I never saw myself with a disability. I was a normal kid, but with wheels. Sure, I couldn't do most things that every other kid could do, but I would always give everything a red hot go. My parents worked hard in my early years to create a strong support network around me, made up of professionals of different backgrounds and expertise. My parents not only wanted the network around me to improve my cerebral palsy, but they also wanted a network of people who would challenged me, both mentally and physically, and more importantly, they wanted people that believed in me and for whom provided inspiration and challenges which allowed me to choose my path in life. Finding the right support network was a challenge. When I was young, I was frustrated and annoyed at myself because my physiotherapist at the time was asking me to attempt fine motor skill tasks for which I simply could not physically achieve. My parents saw this and worked with my physiotherapist to change direction and focus on my gross motor skills instead of my fine motor skills as a priority. This resulted in identifying horse riding that would achieve the gross motor skill goals. I would attend equestrian and ride on a horse twice a week. Being on a horse allowed me to develop the gross motor skill strength that I was severely lacking. My riding instructor would go through basic horse riding techniques, and this was enough to improve my whole core strength and my gross motor skills out of sight. Over the next 6 years, I continued horse riding as well as attending my regular weekly physio appointments. Over this time, I became vastly more independent, achieving daily activities that other experts said to me that they thought that it would be impossible for me to do. At the same time, I found a passion in equestrian, and I went on to be awarded second place at the National Quarter Horse Association National Championships in 2008. This chapter in my life taught me 3 valuable life lessons. 1, follow your passion. Achieving health outcomes and milestones that do not always have to come from traditional methods. Weave them into what you love doing, and you will go above and beyond these outcomes without even realizing it. Number 2, question everything. If the situation that you find yourself in doesn't feel quite right to you, always question it. Because at the end of the day, you know your own body best. It is sometimes okay to say no to an expert. And the final lesson, believe in yourself. Don't let anyone tell you that you shouldn't or you can't do something, because nothing is impossible. My story is very unique in Australia, but it is an example of how, with the right network of support for someone with a disability, it can instill that inner belief in them to believe they can be inspired and work towards anything they want to become. For years in Australia, we have adopted both an external view and a broad brush approach to caring for people like me with minimal consideration as to assessing a person's capability of self-management. Young people with a disability do not now have to be subject to what society wants from them. With a support plan that is tailored, managed, and executed by the young person, focusing on what they love and where they want to go in life, they become the masters of their own destiny, not the professionals. Recently, I have been fortunate to work closely with the Cerebral Palsy Alliance here in Australia in an engagement program we call CP Active to ensure people with CP can become self-advocating and to have a voice on issues that matter to them. CP Active is a grassroots advocacy platform with more than 10,000 members all across Australia. We are made up of people with lived experience of disability, families, disability sector workers, and allies. We are all striving to make Australia a more inclusive place for people with cerebral palsy and other disabilities. Last year, CP Active launched the Young Change Maker program. This was an initiative which was designed by young people to empower other young people with a disability to discover what they are passionate about. Through developing professional skills within a 12-week program, the participants learned how to become advocates for themselves and the wider community. So don't judge a book by its cover. We can't just forget our preconceived notions of the world overnight, but we can chip away at them. This report is a fantastic first step in creating a more inclusive society. However, I would like to challenge everyone here to start asking more questions. The first of such questions can perhaps come from the action items in this report, like how can we remove barriers for people with a disability, and how can we encourage those like us to take charge and command their own lives. As we ask more questions of ourselves and others around disability, we will get more specific in our inquiry. For example, around employability or sports participation, until we all converge on the final, what I see as the final questions, which are, what do you want to achieve as the person with a disability? And how can we help you get there? The answers to these questions must come from the person with a disability. No one else can answer these questions for them. It is a slow process for sure, but together with open and honest dialogue between the support networks, the disability community, and individuals and their families, we have an opportunity to create a better, more inclusive global society for all. But thank you. Thanks so much, John.